With the NRL being less than 4 nights away, I thought better late than never than to drop in my ladder predictions for 2023. After the preseason trials, the World Cup, and many different transfers from different clubs, I thought right now is the best time to put in my ladder predictions. Now, since we're covering 17 teams, I thought I'd skim through every single team and really give you a quick summary of why I think they're finishing in that position and how I think they'll go during this season. But without further ado, let's get straight into the ladder predictions, starting off with the bottom 4 of the competition. That is consisting of 17th to 14th, and that is going to consist of 17th, the Newcastle Knights, 16th, the St. George Illawarra Dragons, 15th, the New Zealand Warriors, and 14th, the Canberra Raiders. Why I feel like these teams are going to finish in the bottom 4? Well, out of all of these teams, their roster is very lackluster. The Knights, really, Hastings and Ponga is all they got going. Their forward pack is lacking some star quality. As for the Dragons, their signings throughout the offseason, Zane and Musgrave, aren't that inspiring. Ben Hunt really needs to step up if the Dragons are any chance of finishing outside of the bottom 4. And the Raiders and the Warriors, they have teams to finish in the top 8. Really, the Warriors have signed well with Tamiran Martin, Charles Coxtag, and for the Raiders, Jack White. He's always proven to be one of your go-to players. But honestly, outside of their key positions, I feel like their team's very lackluster, very uninspiring, and I don't see them doing much in terms of this year. Well, anything can happen, but when it comes to the bottom 4, the Knights, the Dragons, the Warriors, and the Raiders are in there for me. Next, we have the top 5 out of the bottom 9, and that is going to consist through 13th to 9th, and we have 13th, the Gold Coast Titans, 12th, the Dolphins, 11th, the Parramatta Eels, 10th, the Manly Seagulls, and 9th, the Brisbane Broncos. Now, the Titans, I feel like they've been quite well during the off-season, and I think Kieran Foran is really going to be the difference maker for the Titans. The Dolphins, the new boys on the block, I think Wayne can get this team under control. Isaiah Cantola and Sean O'Sullivan is going to be the halves combination going forward, and I feel like that it's going to be one of the top half combination in the competition. Parramatta Eels, why have I dropped them this low from top 4 grand finalists to now 11th? Well, I think losing Reid Marnie and players like Papali'i is really going to hurt them. Josh Hodgson, I feel like he can do well in that hooker position, and all the talk of Mitchell Moses, is he going to stay or is he going to go, is going to affect them. Manly and Brisbane, look, if it's between Manly, Brisbane, and we'll have an 8th, toss of the coin which one of these teams finish in the 8th position. Manly, I guess it all depends on Tom Trbojevic, but other than that, players like Kolowa and Ola Kawatu are really going to stand out. As for the Brisbane Broncos, players like Jesse Arthurs and Payne Haas will stand up, but Reece Walsh is going to be the man of the squad, and I feel like that their marquee signing is going to take them close to the 8. Now we're getting into some real business here. We are at the top 8, and I'm going to go through real quick the bottom 4 of my top 8, and that's going to consist of 8th, the Cronulla Sharks, 7th, the West Tigers, 6th, the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs, and 5th, the Melbourne Storm. Now, why do I have the Sharks finishing in 8th, dropping from 2nd to 8th? Well, I feel like with how the teams are going to be on top of them, they're going to perform just much better than what the Sharks will. Now, that isn't taking away the talent that's at the Sharks. Players like Matt Moylan, players like Will Kennedy, exceptional talent. Their forward pack, Brandon Hamueli, Toby Rudolph. Look, it wouldn't surprise me if the Sharks get close to that top 4, but I just feel like teams above them are going to perform much better. The West Tigers, it's now or never for my team to finish into the 8. Coruscant, Papali'i, Bateman, all these good signings that we've made throughout the offseason. Tim Sheens as head coach, Farah and Marshall working directly under him. It's now or never. If we don't win this, then we deserve to be the laughing stock of the NRL. We need to make this top 8. The Bulldogs, I'm jumping on the Bulldogs success bandwagon. I feel like they're going to have a tremendous season. Phil Gill is head of football. I feel like he's made some good connections. I think Serrato was a great signing as coach. Burton is really going to stand out as a player, as well as the newer signings, Reid Marnie and Viliami Kikau. The forward pack, Luke Thompson, Tavita Pangai Jr. Look, you're really going to see a very, very classy Bulldog side this year. And for the Melbourne Storm, well, look, it's Bellamy's last year, so they want to finish it off with the premiership for him. But losing players like the Bromwich brothers, Kafusi, Brendan Smith, it's really going to affect how the Storm are structured. But they still got Hughes, Pappenhausen, Munster. So don't be surprised if we see the Storm, potentially finish in the top 4 like they always do. But I have them at 5th. Now, finally, the top 4 of the competition. These are going to be the 4 standout teams of this year. And in this order, we have it at 4th, the South Sydney Rabbitohs. 3rd, the Penrith Panthers. 2nd, the Sydney Roosters. And 1st, the mighty North Queensland Cowboys. Why do I have these teams in this position? 4th, the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Latrell Mitchell, arguably one of the best players in the world right now. Jason Demetrios, I feel like, has really brought this team together. As Lachlan Ilias and Cody Walker, one of the best half combinations in the comp. Cook, one of the best hookers in the game. Taz Thompson, their backline is electric. Their forward pack, just talent everywhere. Kalonga Matangi, I'm backing him for a top season. Cameron Murray, one of the best lock forwards in the game. The South is a team that wouldn't surprise me if they did get the minor premiership. I have them at 4th because I feel like the teams above them are going to go better. But 4th, I feel like, is a safe position for the Rabbitohs. And look, wherever they finish, they've proven that they can be still just a competition threat. And the Penrith Panthers, 3rd. Why? There's no Kikau, there's no Coruscant, and they've just lost Talon May for the rest of the season. So this is going to be a very different Penrith side. I think they're finally going to be brought back down to reality. However, players like Edwards, Cleary, Luai, they're still there. And I reckon they're going to bank on their juniors as well. Sonny Luke, I feel like, will probably be their jersey forwarding going forward, with Mitch Kenny being at the hooker position, their forward pack. Even though Linu is going next season, I feel like he is going to step up for the Panthers. Leota, Fisher Harris, top props. And look, Crichton, I don't know if the news of him going to the Bulldogs is going to affect his gameplay, but look, he is still one of the best players in his position. And I honestly think the Panthers, it wouldn't surprise me if they got a 3-peat, but I feel like this year they are more vulnerable and they are more beatable. 2nd, the Sydney Roosters. Brendan Smith is an amazing signing. Although he didn't perform as well as we thought he would in the preseason trials, keep in mind the season he's going to be totally different. Whether he's an 80-minute man or not, I feel like he's really going to bring a lot of attack and sort of that mongrel aggression within the middle of the pack. And then you got Tedesco, Manu, Tupou, Suwali. Their backline is looking so strong. Their halves, Kiri, Walker, a great combination. Again, this is a team that wouldn't surprise me if they won a premiership. But the minor premiership for me this season, and who I think are going to be the premiership favourites, are the North Queensland Cowboys. I feel like it's just this is the time for the Cowboys and for Toddy Payton and his boys to really show what they're truly made of. We saw last year that they could prove everyone wrong. We all tipped them to be last. Players like Cotter, Tuolangi, Nadai, Dearden, we thought they were just no-names who were just filling in roles, and now most of those players have representative jerseys. And I think this season right now, they've already proven these critics wrong. This season is now winning premierships, and I reckon that they are going to be one of the top teams that beat Townsville. Will be one of the hardest road trips in the competition, and they are going to be first on my ladder and they will win the premiership, in my opinion. But that is my ladder prediction. If you guys enjoyed the list that I just put out right now with the ladder, make sure to like and subscribe, and definitely subscribe. Be a part of the All Out section. You will not regret it. But that is the video, and that has been my 2023 ladder predictions. I hope you all enjoyed.